Hi, in this video, I will show you how we can install the latest Oracle Forms 14c on Oracle Database 19c. Additionally, we will also install Oracle Apex 24.2 with the ORDS 24.4. So let's first download the database. We will follow the download from Oracle website. I will add the link in the description of this video for downloading it. The downloading of database may ask you a free account. So once you log in with the account, you are able to download the RAR file. Once the file is downloaded, we will extract the file into a location. After the extraction of database files, we will run the setup as administrator rights. Once the prompt is start, we will go with the desktop class because I'm using the Windows 10 operating system. We will use the Windows built-in account. Ignore this warning of creating a new user for installation of database. I will choose my database as a non-PDB in a standard edition. I'm using a simple password, which is Oracle. And click next. It will check the prerequisites requires for our database installation. just a warning of our password. We can ignore that and click the install button. After successful installation of database, we will close our prompt, and next we will download the Oracle forms. I also need the Java JDK. Oracle forms need Oracle Fusion Middleware 14.2. We will also download that. I will choose the Windows operating system for my download. Accept the license agreement and click download. In the same way, we will download our Oracle Form 14C for Windows operating system. Accept the license agreement and click on download. Both files has been downloaded and now I will extract it one by one. I will choose a location. You may choose your own choice. I will create a folder here with the name forms and with the name of FWM for form middleware. So these two folders will use for extraction of our files. Here we will put the complete address. Click on OK and this will start our extraction. In the same way, we will extract our form setup, and I have already created a folder for that in my E drive. Here is forms. Okay, click on OK. The extraction will take a few minutes. So first we will install our Fusion middleware. For installing the Fusion middleware, we will need to have Java JDK. So we will install that Java JDK 21. I will choose the Java JDK 21. As of this date, the JDK 23 is also available, but we will go with the 21 for Windows operating system and the 64 based installer. The downloading file will start. Once the file is downloaded, we will run the file. It will open the setup of our Java JDK. Click next. So as per recommendation, ignore any space between the path of this JDK file installation. So there must be no space in installation directory. Instead of space, you can use a dash or underscore. I will copy the path for adding it into my environment variables. Okay, click next. Now we will add that copied path into our Windows environment variable. For that we will go to advanced system setting and environment variable. We will I will create a new user variable here with the name of Java underscore home on my path of Java 21, and I also add an entry of a Java bin directory into my path variable. Here I will paste and add the bin directory. Click OK. Okay. So these changes may need restart. So let's restart the system. After the restart of our system, we will now copy our Fusion middleware path. We will run the cmd as administrator and paste our path here with the directory. Here can check the Java dash version. This will show us that our Java is correctly configured. Now we run the command java dash jar and d64 and then Fusion middleware installer, which is a jar file. So this will start our setup. Once our installer is start, click next, skip the auto updates, click next, choose a path for installation directory. I will choose it for my E drive. Click next. We can ignore this warning about the operating system because we are using Windows 10. Install. So our installation is started now. It will take a few minutes. We will finish the setup of our Oracle Fusion infrastructure. Now the next step is the installation of Oracle Forms 14c. We will go to our extracted files and run the setup of Oracle Form 14c with the administrator rights. Our installer is starting while we also need the Visual C++ for this installation of Oracle Form 14c. I will download or compile a complete version, complete all-in-one version before running the setup of my Oracle Forms. Click next. Choose Oracle Home. That is our Oracle Fusion Middleware Home. Click next. Here we will choose the deployment, forms and reports deployment, the JDK home. So you can see the JDK is listed in our choice. We can ignore this Windows operating system warning. Click next and click install. So this will start our setup of Oracle Forms 14c installation. It will take a few minutes. After completion, now we will finish the setup and we will proceed to our next step now. That is a repository creation. So let's create the repository. We'll follow the path for running the repository creation .pat. So it is available in Oracle Home, Oracle Common and bin. So here we have the rcu.pat file, repository creation file. We will run this file via cmd by running it as administrator. Once the repository creation utility has started, we will put our database credentials. Our service name, the username must be sys and the role is sysdba. It will fetch the details. Click next. Select the components for the repository creation. Click next. Here we will put the schema password. I am choosing it as Oracle simple. Next. Next. It will create the table spaces. Okay. Create. So this process will complete in a while and our repository will be created. So our repository creation process has completed. You can check the summary and the log. We will close this prompt, and now the next step is about creating or configuration of our domain. So for that we will follow the path. Go to our path with cmd and run config.cmd. So this will start our configuration of Oracle Forms with the domain creation. Click next with the create a new domain. I'm choosing the default path. So this is very important. In this page we will uh, select our components. So carefully select your components because I am making it production. So I'm choosing both the development and deployment tools. After selection of component, I will click the next button and it will load. Next, here I will put a password for the WebLogic. I'm making it a simple with WebLogic 1. I'm choosing this as a development mode because I'm on Windows 10. I must choose a port for my configuration. So I'm for the timing I'm going with non-SSL. Here I will put my database credentials that on which I have created the repository. So my host name is a local host. The database service name is orcl.com and my repository password. I will fetch my repository configuration. So you can see it's successfully done. We will click the next button, choose all the components, click next button. It will complete it one by one. Click next button. Here I will choose the components for deployment. I will choose the default machine. Server name will be default and the machine name will also be default. Click next button. Choose the default for server names. Next, next. Click next. We will add a OHS here, OHS 1, and component type will be OHS. Our listener address will be the local host, and we will click next. Put the OHS 1 into our selected component and click the create domain. So again, this process will take some time. So our domain creation process has completed. You can see we will finish the wizard. Now, after the completion of domain creation, we will start our services. So we will start all the services one by one. I will go to my Oracle home user project domain, base domain, and bin. Here I will copy the path, run the CMD as administrator. So for each service I use and I copy the same method for starting my service. I'm starting my web logic. So we will wait until the server state must be changed to running. Must check the screen for any error encounter. So you can see our server state has changed to running, and our WebLogic has started successfully. Next, again we copy the path, run the CMD, go to the path, and we will start our manage server now. Start manage server, and we will first start the WLS forms. So you can see it's asking for the WebLogic server username and the password for the first time. We will resolve this security later on in the next step. I will put my username and password here. Username is WebLogic, and in my case my password was WebLogic1. So again we will wait until the server state change to running for the manage server WLS forms. You can see the form services has started, and for the third time I will copy the path, run the CMD, and I will go to my path, my copied path, and then I will start manage weblogic.cmd wls underscore reports, which is my reporting server. So for the first time, it's again just like form, it will ask my WebLogic username and password. I will put it here, and I will resolve the security in the next step. I will wait until the server stage change to running. Our reporting services has started and our server has changed to running state for both the reports and forms. In the next step, we can check our WebLogic console and the WebLogic Enterprise Manager. For that, open your browser, any browser, and put the address of localhost with 7001, which is our non-SSL port, and next is console. So you can see the WebLogic 14.1.2 has a remote console. We have the option for that. We will download that, and the other is Enterprise Manager, that is EM. I put my WebLogic username password for starting Enterprise Manager. You can see our three servers has started, and three are in up state. Now I start again one another windows of CMD, and this time I'm shutting down my all the services. For shutting it down, I will use stop. First, I will stop my OHS 1. Next, I will stop my reporting. So for that, I will write the stop manage weblogic.cmd, and I will write that wls underscore reports. It will stop my reporting services. We are encountering with the error of the username and password. So we will create the security folder in our all the services, that is the report services, the form services, and the WebLogic service. I will add a boot.properties file in a security folder and put this security folder into all my servers. In this file, we will simply write the username and password in a plain text form, and once it's configured, it will automatically make it in the encryption form. We will copy this security into forms also, and the other is WebLogic. So once we shut down the reports now, so you can see the error is no more here. Our report services has successfully stopped without encountering any error. The both CMD windows showing the status of shutting down the services. In the same way, I will shut down the form services. I have already set the security folder, and you can see the boot.properties file as put into the location. We will write stop manage weblogic.cmd and wls underscore forms. So in the background, you can also see our WLS form running CMD. So you will see the changing of status while we shutting down the server. We can confirm it from our enterprise manager by refreshing the EM. Once it refreshed, you can see our two server, that is report and form, has shut down successfully. There is no error. Third, we will copy this security folder into our WebLogic, and we already have that WebLogic security. We don't need to copy that. You can see it's already in encrypted form because it's already present there. We will stop our WebLogic services now. Once the WebLogic service is shut down, you can see when we refresh our enterprise manager, it's not responding because the services is shut down now. We will also stop our node manager. In the next step, we will start the WebLogic scripting tool. You can follow the path of Oracle Home, Oracle Common, Common Bin, and copy the path, run the CMD with the administrator rights. Here we will run the service of WLST, that is WebLogic scripting tool.cmd. While we connect, it will ask our username, password, and address of our server. So there is no WebLogic running in the background. So we must need to start the weblogic.cmd before running this. So again we will go to our user project and domain and base domain, which is our folder. Once our WebLogic server started, we can connect with our WLST. For connect, just write the connect, open brace and close brace, the username and password for our WebLogic and URL of our server. So you can see it's successfully connected. Here we will create our repos, that is the report instance tool. I'm writing the name of my tool is report rep tools 1. You need to make sure that we must choose the correct server name. So now I'm copying my machine name for avoiding any error during the scripting. So that is case sensitive also. So you must follow the same name. So you can see it's successfully created now. Once we executed our command, we will exit from this window. In the next step, we will run our form builder and report builder, that are our reporting development tools. Form builder will be started by just running the form builder, which is easily available on start menu. But when we search the report builder, just like 6i, it will not available here. So for that, we will follow some other path. If during the report builder starting you will face this error, mm, either you can run it directly or you can run it via CMD by running the CMD as administrator and report builder.pad. So you can see that we will face an error of rep 5125 java.lang exception. So for that, for resolving this issue, we have to follow some other path. So let me show you. The real path is under the base domain. We will go to the report folder and the bin directory, and there we will find the rw builder.bat. In the next step, we will configure our TNS names for connecting our form and report builder for both development and deployment. So connecting it with our database. So for that, we have to put our TNS name files at these two locations which I'm showing now. First I will paste the copied file here and I will edit it. And the other location is under the base domain. We will also put our TNS name here. So let's copy this file because it's already having an entry, a test entry. So I have copied my TNS name file from my database directory for avoiding any issue. As I shown you, there are two paths, so I have pasted it at both location. Just replace the file for avoiding any database connection issue. For making the connection with the database, we have we must need to have a user. So for creating the user that contains some table and some views, schemas, this and that, we need to create a user from any ID. So I'm downloading now the SQL developer, which is official ID recommended by the Oracle. So once it download, we will create a user in it, and we will create some table that will connect it with our forms, Oracle form 14c. I will make a connection with my system user for creating a user. For creating a user, the command will be create user test and identified by its password. I'm putting the password test as same as username. So the user has successfully created. Let's maximize it. Now we will grant some privileges. So for testing purpose, I am granting it uh, the complete DBA rights. In our form builder, we will go to connect by file menu, and we will put our username and password, and the database name is same as our TNS, which we recently copied from our database folder to our form TNS names folder. So for double check for confirmation, we can open it, so you can see it's ORCL. You can see our form is successfully connected with the Oracle database 19C non-PDB. So this is the minimum release where we can connect our Oracle forms 14C. Now we will connect to our test user and create some table here that we will use in our form and report further. So let me create a table first with some columns name. Our table has successfully created and you can see the columns here, TID, status and the name, and there is no data because we are creating it from scratch. So in next step, we will connect. We already connected with this our forms. Now we create a form according to our database table that we recently created. I'm already connected with test user, so I will run the wizard of Oracle form just like 6i 11g 12c. By database wizard, I am able to create the form here, and this there is my table, and you can see I'm calling all the columns that I just created. I'm setting the sequence next and finish. So again, it will ask us to create a layout. We will create some dummy layout in a form type. So by this way, we will create a form. In the next step, we will start the configuration of our reports, the reporting configuration for Oracle Forms 14c. So we may encounter with some errors, very common error that we are facing during the report configuration. So first we need to start our services. For starting the service is the same in the bin directory of our base domain. We will start the manage server. We can also start that from enterprise manager, but as per best practices recommended by the Oracle, I am using the CMD and starting it from CMD. After the starting of all the services, you can see that my enterprise manager showing all the server are running correctly. Now, if I call the report builder, sorry, report services URL, that is my report server port, and then report and RW servlet. We have used 9012 port as our non-SSL port during the configuration of our domain for reporting. So let me just replace it with 9012 and report RW servlet. So you can see this page, and under that page we then show our jobs. But for the first time we may encounter some error, like the page is loading, it will show an error because I have not correctly setted my credentials. So you can see the bind to report server failure. This is a report rep 51002 error. So how to resolve that? Let me show you. This is very important for reporting server. First of all, we need to shut down our reporting services. We can shut it down from enterprise manager also. The first error was report server was not bind successfully, and the reason was my virtual adapter, because I have some virtual windows, that is Oracle virtual box, and on that virtual box I have a window. So I will disable my adapter, my virtual adapter. So by doing this, we we will able to resolve this bind issue. So you can see it's loading now for showing jobs, and once it loaded, so the error is now different, something like the user system user authentication is missing. So you can see it's a rep 51019 error. So we will resolve this by shutting down the services. You have to reach this path that is showing on my screen, and we will change some configuration in our properties file and config file for correctly managing the showing jobs for our report server. After changing the configuration, we will once restart our report server, so making the change commit. After restarting of our report server and after making the change in our configuration file, now if I run the show jobs, first we will run a simple page that will confirm us that our record report services is up, and show jobs is loading. It's loading the page. So you may encounter with this error also, that is rep 52266. So this is again the in process report server is failed to start. So how to resolve this? Let me again shut down the services first. For shutting down the services, we will again go to our CMD. We will again change some of the configuration files for getting a solution of this error. You need to follow the path. In this network config file, we make some changes for getting a solution of this in process reporting server error. Once you make the changes, you need to start the reporting builder. We can start it from CMD or from Enterprise Manager. After the server stage change to running, Let's open the browser again and write our reporting URL address. You can see that reporting main page is showing, but we have to check also the show jobs parameter. Here in the enterprise manager, our reporting server is running fine. The health is okay. So you can see that our servlet command is successfully executed and we are now able to show our jobs. So by this we are able to configure the report with our forms without any error. So next I will download the Apex, Oracle Apex 24.2, and I will install on this same non-PDB Oracle database 19C. We will also download the ORDS 24.4 for making a standalone server, running the Apex as a standalone. Once the file has been downloaded, we will extract that into a location. I will choose the same path where my all the forms configuration are saved. After the extraction, I will go to my Oracle Apex path. I will copy my path and I will paste it on CMD by running it as administrator. We will run the SQL plus here and we will connect to our non-PDB database with the sysdba rights. I will show my con name so you can see it's a simple ORCL. So here we will run the command of installation of Apex. I will choose the default table space, that is sysox, and the temporary as my temp data table space. Once the Apex installation has completed, we will run the command for changing the password. We will run the Apex REST configuration command for setting up the Apex listener and Apex public user. The next step is configuration of ORDS. So I will go to my ORDS directory, and here I will check the Java version, that my Java is correctly configured or not. I have already installed in this video section. Finally, we will run the command java jar ords and the configuration directory path install. We will change our static images directory. So that directory is available at our Apex 24.2. So we will update our Apex static resource path. Once everything is done, I will confirm it, and our standalone Apex server will be started. So you may face this error, the account is locked. So for unlocking the user that is locked, we will first check that which user is locked. We can check it in SQL developer. We will check the user from DBA users for both Apex and ORDS. Once we identify the user that is logged, we will unlock that by the alter user command. Make sure that you put the same password that you set on the time of configuration, and the account unlock is the command that used for the unlocking account. That's it. Now if I will run the Apex, so you can see it's successfully started. We log into our internal workspace with our admin user. So you can see that Oracle Apex 24.2 has started successfully on our standalone ORDS server. So we can further start our development on it by creating a workspace.